Welcome to ThayerDesign. My name is Alexa Thayer, and I'm here to present a tutorial on Photoshop. First, you will want to launch Photoshop from the Applications folder in the hard drive. You can drag an image file, either a JPEG, TIFF, or Photoshop file, onto the application icon, which you will find on the dock. Once your file is open, we can begin looking at the tools of Photoshop. If your toolbar is not open, you can access it under the Window menu. The toolbar can be utilized either in a single or a double row by just clicking on the small arrows on the top right-hand corner. The first tool we'll discuss are the selection tools. There are 3 different selection tools, and when you click on each one of these tools, you will find that you have an additional fly-out menu. The first tool we will discuss is the rectangular marquee tool. Please choose this tool and drag the mouse across your image. You will see a rectangle created with an active line. This is a selection, and this selection is referred to as marching ants. You now have created a selection that can be manipulated in a variety of ways. The other tools you will find are the elliptical marquee tool, the single row marquee tool, and the single column marquee tool. You can take any of the selection tools and place them on top of the selection and move the selection around in the document. Any of the selection tools will do this very thing. When you want to add and subtract to this selection, you can press the Shift key or the Option key. The Shift key will add to the selection. The Option key will take away from the selection. And again, the Shift key will add, and the Option key will remove. At the top right-hand corner of your tool palettes, you'll find the Mover tool, and can be used to move any of your selections in your document. When you choose this tool, you'll see a pair of scissors, which indicates that when you move this selection, you will be cutting it out of the image. You will see that what's behind is white. If we go back over to the Tools palette, we'll see the background and the foreground. The white is your background, the black is your foreground. These are your color swatches to be used on your images. The default is the black and white small icon underneath it, and you can always switch your background with these arrows at the top. If I come back to this and I want to undo my last step, I can go up to Edit and Undo Move. Again, if I cut it out, I'll see a pair of scissors and I can drag it over. I can also memorize my command, which I heartily recommend that you do, and Command Z. I'm now going to deselect this selection, and we're going to look at the lasso tool. The lasso tool creates spontaneous drawing. And again, you can move this. And I can, again, step backwards and Command Z. If I want to deselect my selection, I would go to Select and Deselect. Now underneath the lasso tool, you'll find the polygonal lasso tool, which creates straight lines. And you'll know you're finished and you've come to the end when you see a little circle next to your icon. And then you can complete the selection. If I deselect, Command D, and I create, again, another selection with the polygonal tool, and I don't complete the selection, and I double click, it will automatically complete that selection for me. The next tool we're going to discuss is the magnetic lasso tool. This tool creates selections by hovering on the edge of contrasting pixels of an image. The tool clings to that edge of the contour in the image. We're going to change images right now to better illustrate how this tool works. You're going to want to zoom in while you're creating this selection with the zoom tool, which is located at the bottom of the tools palette. And if I want to go the opposite direction, I click Option on the keyboard. But we want to zoom in, and then we're going to choose our magnetic lasso tool, and we're going to start to hover that on the edge and just draw and follow it up the edge. Now here I need to move up so I can see more of the image, and I don't want to change out of my magnetic lasso tool. So what you want to do is press your space bar, which switches the tool to a hand tool. And thus I can move down the image and start and continue with the magnetic lasso tool. So in certain areas you're going to want to manually click, and others it will pick up those contrasting pixels more easily. And after you're finished, you can always go back or make corrections by adding and subtracting to your selection with any of your selection tools. You can see that I keep changing with my space bar to the hand tool so I can continue to move around the image without losing the magnetic lasso tool. But you can, I'm sure, hear that I am clicking my mouse as I go around. So continue along the edge. And here it's not, I should have been clicking right there. It's not, the value of the urn and the background seem fairly similar, although it's picking it up right here nicely. And there doesn't appear to be a lot of contrast between the two. Like the polygonal tool, when you've completed the selection, you'll see a circle next to your tool, which means you've reached the beginning. So you can click on it and it will create the selection. And here we lost some information, so I'm going to click on Shift. And this I can correct later. And here is a big area where we've lost information. So we're going to actually we want to take out this information. So now we're going to add There we go. That's good. And I think we're good to go. All right, now we're going to zoom out. And you'll see the selection is active.